Hi, this is Kurt from Advanced Calibration Designs with an instructional video on how to calibrate your gas monitor with a Cal 2000 gas generator. The first thing we need to do to calibrate this gas monitor is to put the generating cell inside of the instrument. This is an H2S Scott brand sensor, and so we're going to put an H2S generating cell inside the instrument. As you see, the Cal 2000 runs on 4C batteries. This is the generating cell. It's got 4 male pins that insert into a ribbon connector in the instrument. You line those up. It's keyed so that you can't put it in wrong. You place it in the instrument and then you put the cover back on. I'm going to put it in this vise so that you can see the display. Normally it's going to be in your carrying case. Alright, so we're going to power the unit up. It shows you the data that the instrument has. It's got serial number, manufactured date, other data, cell life. It's 42 hours. They come with 50 hours to start with. The battery status. Quick select is a feature for H2S. Now it's set to 15 ppm and half a liter a minute. First thing I want to do is zero this sensor. So I'm going to change this output to 0 ppm and half a liter a minute is a fine flow rate. So I hit the select button. It goes through the data for me again, and when it shows output of 15 parts per million, I'm going to hit select here and go down to 0. Once we get to 0 ppm, I just release the select button, which is now, and it's going to stabilize. You're going to see it say stabilizing for 300 seconds, so there's a 5-minute countdown. After that countdown, we'll come back to you. Now, as you can see, the Cal 2000 is stabilized at 0 parts per million. So what's happening now is ambient air from the room is coming into the instrument. It goes through a charcoal filter to ensure that if there was any background H2S in this room, it would scrub it out. It's coming out through a 5-foot hose that comes with the Cal 2000, and then it's going into a calibration adapter that came with the Scott sensor. Now what we're going to do is set 0 over here. This particular sensor is 0 using a magnetic screwdriver. So I hold that screwdriver over the 0. It says Cal, and once it says set, we can move on to our calibration. Alright, so that's set at 0. Now I'm going to change the output of the Cal 2000. This is a 0 to 50 parts per million H2S sensor, so I'm going to select 25 parts per million as my calibration gas coming out of this instrument. As you saw before, it's adjustable between 0 and 50 parts per million at a half a liter a minute. So I'm going to hit select there and go up. As you can see, it's climbing. It's arbitrary where I select to calibrate this unit. Went too high. But 25 is right in the middle, so we're going to use that. Now again, once you select the output that you want, there's a 5-minute stabilization period, so we'll come back to you in 5 minutes. Alright, now the Cal 2000 is stabilized at 25 parts per million, and we're going to span this Scott sensor up to read 25. Again, it's done with a magnetic screwdriver. We hold it over the span, and then there's the up and down arrows. I'm going to bring this up to 25 parts per million. Alright, there's 25. We hit set. It shows you its calibration number there, and then it's going to read 25 ppm. And then just for an example, I'm going to show you guys how to change the output again, and we'll show the output change on the sensor. So it's reading 24 right now. I'm going to change the output of the Cal 2000 from 25 down to let's say 15. Now the Cal 2000 starts its 5-minute countdown, but you'll see by the output of this Scott sensor how quickly it changes. The point of this is to show you that if you have some other kind of sensor that requires a specific output, you just set the output of the Cal 2000 to that output. In this case now I've changed it to 15. You see the Scott sensor dropping down. Now it's going to go to 15. So if you have several different brands or models of gas detector, you can use one calibrator, calibrate that sensor, and you've got your all-in-one here. You see it's dropping down 17, 16, 15 is where we would calibrate this, and there it is now, and you're ready to go. Alright, once you've finished your calibration with the Cal 2000, to power the unit off, you press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. It says purging, and it purges for 5 minutes just to get all the corrosive gas out of everything. And the instrument will remember the last setting you had. So once this power's off, if I turn it back on, it'll come back to 15 parts per million. That way, if you calibrate one particular sensor all the time, you don't have to reset it each time you go through.